In this video, we're going to have a look at Cardano. We're going to look at the price charts, some dollar cost averaging, and what the media is saying, and my thoughts and why I am bullish on Cardano as a position moving into the 2024-2025 bull run. Now, I want to say that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research before moving into the crypto space. It is very risky, it's very speculative, and you can lose it all when investing. Now, Cardano as a chain, as a whole, it is a solid project. When you look at coin market cap, if you're watching this video, you know where it sits. It's at number 7. It's got a huge market cap. It's in the top 10. It is a beast and it is a contender when you're talking about cryptocurrencies that are smart contracts, a layer 1 that has all the bits and pieces. But it might not be as sexy and it might not have the marketing appeal as something like a Solana or the upside potential as some other coins out there that are sitting it. Because when someone sees something in the top 10, they don't think it has the upside or potential as something that might be a 500 to 1,000 coin with the potential and upside, but I beg to differ. Now, I want to look at the charts and show you what I am seeing when I look at Cardano just from a strict price point. Having a look at Cardano, one of the reasons why I think it is a good buy and a good thing to have in your portfolio, the first run up that it had, it ran up around 1,500%. Now, it has had a cycle and it has had a pull down. Now, it had the lowest pull down at around the 98% mark. And it was still 98% if you take it down to these levels right here. But the fact is, we've had this initial run up, we've had a cycle to come down, we've seen it accumulate, and we've seen it run back up. Now, I think that this is very important in the cryptocurrency space because this shows that Cardano has the mainstay to go through multiple cycles. If a coin just comes through and has one cycle and pull back, there is a chance that it might not have the potential to run up again. It does not mean that what has happened in the past will happen in the future again, but it gives you a little bit more to run off when you have seen it cycle through again. We've seen the same thing with Bitcoin multiple cycles. We've seen the same thing with Ethereum run through a couple of cycles. So because it's had a couple of cycles, the hive mind, the mindset of people will go, okay, this feels like we can throw a little bit of money into it. There is a little bit of trust. It has got a bit of a stay. Now, when we have a look at the first run up that it had was around 1,500. We then run a point up here. We then had around sort of 10, 11,000%, which is absolutely crazy. But then this drawdown and pull down here isn't as bad as the initial one, down around 92%. Now, 92%, not saying that that isn't nothing. That's a big drawdown, but it also does give you huge potential upside if we do get at least back to old all-time highs. And if you do have a look, it hit old all-time highs before. So if we do run up to the old all-time highs here, we still get around sort of 1,200% gain, which is a good 12x. And in terms of its old all-time high to the sort of previous old all-time high, it went up 125%. Now, obviously, it would be good to see this sort of do a 3 or 4x from the old all-time high, but it still shows you that it did break old all-time highs. But even though I would like it to be running another 10x from its old all-time high, kind of like when we saw Ethereum run to around that 1,000 and then hit around 4,000, is Cardano still a good investment in 2024? Cardano investment thesis, ADA price prediction. Now, this is a great video and I'll actually link it up here. Check it out after this video, of course. But Altcoin Daily basically breaks down what they think has happened, what they think can happen to the coin. And what you see here is you've got the Cardano community rallying right behind it. Now, having a core community supporting it and behind it and rallying is very important for a coin. Now, one thing that I think Cardano does lack overall is a bit of sex appeal and a little bit of marketing on its front. It's very tech heavy. It's very crazy when it comes down to the tech and the stack of Cardano and what they do, but I don't think it translates well to not necessarily meme coins, but I'm saying the general public and the easy uptake of the public. It's very condensed. It's very hard. When you take a chain like Solana, it has some builders on it. It has some use cases, and it has a little bit of a sex appeal when it comes to the chain, which I think makes people easier to gravitate towards because Solana was able to be marketed in a particular way. I'm not saying that Cardano isn't able to market itself, but I think that when it does have a big proper marketing run itself, it will just absolutely kill it. Now, there are going to be people in the comments going, yeah, but Cardano does have a big marketing arm that does have this. The circles that I operate in are heavy Ethereum and dabble into Solana and some other chains. Cardano is rarely looked at in the sort of the people that are actually sort of buying the coin and using the coin, not just speculators, but people that buy in and use it. The people that I know, they are using Ethereum on dApps. They're using Ethereum to make purchases, trade, all of that kind of stuff. They are also using Solana to buy, trade, do all of that. They're not just buying to speculate. The only people, I know a very small handful of people that actually know how to use Cardano, that actually know what wallets Cardano has, all of that. So I do think that in this next bull run, if Cardano flicks on a marketing switch and actually gets some high quality sort of infrastructure around it, this is when it'll boost and it'll absolutely run. Now, what I want to actually break down now is a dollar cost average on the price points so you can kind of see where we can actually run to give you a bit of an idea of what nominal amounts could actually equate to. And this is actually my strategy right now. This isn't some thesis. This is what I'm actually doing right now, week on week, month on month, to ensure that I'm positioned well for the bull run. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take the old all-time high, which is around $3.10. We're then going to take the old all-time high and the new all-time high, and we can see it's gone up around that sort of 100, so up 30%. And then we're also going to take a bull case of around double the old all-time high. Now, what happens here is if we take these amounts, so we've got sort of $3.10, it's taken off the decimal point. We've then got sort of 30% of the top, which is around that $4 mark. And then we've got the bull case of around $6. And for those of you that are going to get a little bit crazy, what we're going to do is we're actually going to format the number to actually make a, there we go. So you can see exactly what it is. So there we go, there's the decimal point for all of you haters. Now I've put the current price in at around 25 cents. It's currently sitting at around 24 cents, but I wanted to round up to 25. Now I have an inflation number. Now the inflation number is the price point that it could rise to over the next period, which is a 52-week period. So I'm saying that if Cardano runs and doubles in price over the next 52-week period, this is actually priced in, because to dollar cost average at a singular price point is going to give you completely different numbers, and I'll play around with this and show you now. So a nominal amount of $10 a week over a 52-week period will put your initial investment at $520. This will net you 1,300 ADA, and at these price points, getting back to the old all-time high, can see you sitting at a profit of a return of 4,000, reduce the initial input, profit of 3,500. If we get to that 30% over, so repeating the old all-time high that we had last time, so the old all-time high to the new all-time high, that 30%, which gets you to around $4.03. We end up with a profit of 4,790, and if we go the bull case of around $6, we end up with a profit of $7,385. Now, I'm not saying that you should be investing in ADA. I'm not saying that you should move into it. These are just some numbers, some thought processes, some ideas about what is happening and the thought process that I'm going into when dollar cost averaging into ADA. Now, this is what I mean by about the inflation percentage. If ADA only rises by 50% from this point in time over the next year, you end up with a vastly different numbers. You end up with 4,500, 6,000, and 9,200. And this is all off $10 a week. Now, the reason that I've put in $10 a week is $10 a week is 2 coffees. It's not getting something once a week. If you just divert that funding into ADA, here is what it could look like when we do get to a bull run. Now, this is just over a 1 year period. One year is easy to digest. Now, if we start to kind of go in a little bit harder into it, and we keep inflation at that 100% mark, and you want to put in sort of $400 a month, which is $100 a week, what we end up with is some crazy numbers. We end up with $35,600. So the initial investment is $5,200 over the year, 47,896 at the kind of a sandbag bullish price, and then 73 grand at the full crazy price. And just to kind of show you what happens if ADA only really, if it doesn't increase and it stays flat at around that 25 cent mark, these numbers just get absolutely ridiculous. So $100 a week can turn into $58,000, $77,000, and $117,000. Now, these, if you want me to drop this chart below so you can have a play around with some numbers yourself, by all means, drop a comment below and I may put it in the description for you. But the idea is I've put all of these numbers in here just so it's nice and easy for you to kind of run through. It tells you how many coins you'll get over that period. I've got the inflation point so you can kind of work out what you want to do over that period. It should just help you out in doing some maths. This shouldn't be your investment thesis. This shouldn't be what you blindly follow. But by working out what you can do, you can then compare a coin like ADA against some of the other coins that are in the top 10. You can put ADA against Ethereum, ADA against BNB, ADA against XRP, Doge, Solana, and you can go through. By doing this, and this is what I do with multiple different coins, see what they have done previously, see what their old all-time highs are, see what their new all-time highs are, to then put together my own trading sort of plan, so then I can move in and then exit at appropriate points in time. If you're curious about what an exit strategy would be for ADA, so laddering out on the bull run, drop a comment below, let me know, and I can then do a video on it. Now, one thing that I think can make ADA an absolutely killer chain is the usability and the expansion of the ecosystem. The ability for people to actually use tools and build tools around it to inspect ADA. Now, what I'm getting at here is this is Nansen. This is a great tool for sort of cryptocurrencies, for NFTs, for everything DeFi. It's absolutely crazy. When you hit the drop-down menu here, you'll notice that all you can see, Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, Arbitrum, BNB, Phantom, Ronin, Solana. Do I see Cardano here? No, Cardano is in the goddamn top 10 cryptocurrencies, yet the professional tools that people use to do on-chain analytics, you can't find them. This is part of what makes me bullish, is because when Cardano is easier to accept, when the tools that people are using right now are able to inspect and do some things with the chain, it then makes it more appropriate for people to invest in the chain. Right now, for something like Nansen, Cardano doesn't exist, so why would you want to put it into your investing strategy right now? Why would normies want to invest in it? The only people that want to invest into Cardano right now are coin speculators that don't actually know how to use the chain, that aren't actually building for the chain. Now, what do I think ADA needs to do to actually get to that sort of crazy high of a $6 price point? What it needs to do is it needs to make it easier for the general public, the general user, to use dApps, to build on it, and also be able to use it on something like their phone. The reason I say this is with Ethereum, you have MetaMask, which is an absolutely great wallet for the browser, but also on mobile. It's not the best for mobile, but you can still actively trade and do some things on mobile, which makes it very easy. With Solana, the Phantom wallet is absolutely killer. It's absolutely amazing, which makes it easier to buy, sell, trade, use Web3. Solana also has that new phone, but that's a video for another time. What I've found with the wallets on Cardano is they're just not as user-friendly, they're just not as easy. Now, I have used Cardano to buy things, to trade, to actually like use the coin as a medium of transaction to actually use, but it felt very clunky. It didn't feel as smooth. It didn't feel as easy as something like Ethereum or Solana. Now, obviously, the chain can have a good, crazy backend. It can be very solid. It can be very good. But unless you're a tech guy and you really want to, or tech gal, and you really want that in a chain, it doesn't really work for the general public. One of the reasons why I think we had something like Solana pump up very high is that it was very easy and user-friendly for people to come through. I think in this next cycle, if you are an ADA fan, you need to really support the wallets and the onboarding mechanisms. Now, I know everyone hates NFTs, everyone hates Web3, but all of the DeFi that is going to be coming in, all of the NFTs, all of the infrastructure that could be built on ADA needs to be built and supported by the ADA community. The reason being is if there is some NFTs, if there is some ticketing, if there is any dApps, DeFi that do come into that do come on your radar, that do come into the system, the ADA community needs to rally around it and support it, because that's when new liquidity comes through. For example, if you take a very good sort of dApp, DeFi, NFT project, and you can end up bridging over millions of dollars worth of Ethereum, or sort of swapping it into ADA, and then having ETH boys and ETH maxis transitioning into ADA, bringing in new liquidity, which then ends up building up the price. If you have a look at something like Friendtech on Base, the fact is you've got thousands of transactions happening a day. You took people that were just trading on the layer 1 ETH, or people that were trading in Solana, then going over to the Base chain to then actually play around with Friendtech and actually move around there. What needs to happen is there needs to be some really cool tech and the ADA community. And if you right now say, oh, but NFTs are a scam, or Friendtech's a scam, or this is a scam, or DeFi's a scam, and you're an ADA supporter, you're actively flooding your own bags. What you need to do is, because ADA is the base, that foundation, that layer, that chain, you then need to put ADA at the forefront of what you want, support it, and then it will then let people that aren't in ADA actually onboard their fiat, onboard their sort of swap their other sort of crypto out, and then onboard into it, have a good experience, and then they stay there. That's just what it is. When I have actually used ADA, it hasn't been a smooth, seamless interaction. There's a lot of room for improvement when I've used Solana and I've used Ethereum. But saying that, that's also why it makes me bullish, because when these things get sorted, when there is a very good mobile application wallet to use, then I'll be more inclined to use it. When there are more interesting apps and tools, I'll be more inclined to use it. When there are tools that you can then use, I will then use it. So that is why I'm bullish on ADA. That's why I'm dollar cost averaging into ADA. And that's why I think you should put it on your radar and consider it in your investing strategy heading into the 2024-2025 bull run. Hopefully you found value in this video. If you did, go down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment, tell me why you hate me, and tell me why you absolutely love ADA. I had a pleasure making this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.